So if you don't know who the Liver King is, he's a man named Brian Johnson and goes by the title of the Liver King on social media. He became famous sometime last year for having a completely naturally jacked physique and for eating, you guessed it, raw liver.
Liver King here. We just finished butchering the cow, and because I'm the Liver King, and because liver is king, we're gonna take a bite out of it.
He eats raw testicles too, by the way, but I'm guessing he didn't fancy being called a testicle king. This is nothing new though. There's always been people touting their obscure diet as their reason for getting insanely jacked, whether that's horse meat or duck eggs. Raw liver just seemed to be another one of those marketable diet fads. The man also claimed that his strength and physique is a result of what he calls ancestral living, stating that modern ways of living has made us all weak, and returning to the old ways of the prehistoric caveman will return our people back to strength and happiness.
What are you simpletons doing?
This is an appeal to nature fallacy, but we'll get into that later. So it turns out that Torbjorn here has recently been under fire, unlike his meat, after he was exposed for juicing this entire time, surprising absolutely no one and affecting no one's wallets. All the people that got suckered into buying his supplements from him probably would have lost their money investing in JPEG NFTs or some other garbage get results quick scams. The expose was in the form of a leaked email revealing how he had been roiding this entire time. Look at the list of shit he was taking. It looks like the recipe Walter White used to cook his blue meth. So it turns out the real Krabby Patty secret formula to his physique is spending 132k a year on steroids. But of course to him that was just a minor detail not worth mentioning. That was just a small fine print, you know. Understandably, most people had their doubts of him right from the start. I mean, how many people do you know look like this naturally? He's also 45 years old, which due to the natural wear and tear of the body and the decline of testosterone levels makes it a bit more unbelievable. I mean, I'm in my 20s and I wake up with sore joints everywhere. No idea why my body aches in the morning. I'm sleeping, I'm barely even moving. I'm convinced that someone sneaks into my room every night and beats me up. Now, anytime someone claims they're natural but are more jacked or athletic than people who are known steroid users, automatically raises a red flag in my head. I see this often and I always wonder that if they're actually as natural as they claim, then what would happen if they were to jump on steroids? Would they turn into fucking Goku? It's also interesting whenever you watch any clips of the Liver King being confronted about whether he's been taking steroids or whether he's even had some cosmetic surgery done on his abs. He always gets super uncomfortable and tries to deflect from the subject.
If they're the same unflexed, then we have a little bit of a situation.
This is, dude, okay. No, let me just tell you this. This hair has never seen shampoo. This body doesn't see fucking soap ever.
Very suspicious. All this being said, I don't even know why people want to look like this anyway. He looks like a homeless man that goes dumpster diving for leftover protein shakes. He looks like one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles finally got with April O'Neil and had a love child. He looks like he smells of sweaty ball bags that stick to the side of your leg. Not only is his appearance kind of fudged up looking, but he's pretty much the complete antithesis of a healthy body. His organs and blood vessels perpetually look like they're on the verge of exploding, and his skin is always red, making him look like Larry the Lobster. Besides the obvious steroids use, even the ancestral living garbage he's always peddling never really made much sense. This idea that things that are natural are always better isn't always true, and as mentioned earlier, it's known as the appeal to nature fallacy. Ironically, it's also ignoring the blatant fact that he himself is not natural. A good example of why natural isn't always better is medicine. A lot of people tout that natural medicine is inherently better, but that's not always the case, because natural medicine can contain other compounds that are not accounted for and also have its own side effects, while synthetic medicine on the other hand tends to have more exact ingredients that are carefully dosed and tested, and the side effects tend to be more well known. I kind of knew everything he preached was bullshit early on when I saw a video of him giving a house tour, or rather a tour of his mansion, and you get to see him clearly picking and choosing what part of the ancestral lifestyle gimmicks he chooses to follow. Like he owns big cars and flies around on private jets, owns guns but carries around a hatchet with him for the aesthetic. It's like he's just cosplaying as a caveman. But I think the funniest one is that he sleeps on a block of wood. Imagine spending millions to buy a mansion to then sleep on a block of wood so you can try and convince yourself that this is ancestral living. Just how is sleeping on a block of wood going to improve your health? Prehistoric humans didn't even sleep on wood. There's like hundreds of other materials that are softer to sleep on than wood, like grass or animal fur. I don't know, maybe his ancestors were dumb enough to sleep on wood. It's clear to me that he doesn't know anything about this ancestral living. Most prehistoric humans didn't even eat meat for every meal and for every single day of the week. It would depend on variables like the type of season and what geographical location they were in. Some periods of the year they would mostly eat a plant-based diet if that was most available. He's one of those cringe people that advocate for a carnivore diet, and worse, eating it raw, as if there's something inherently manly about getting intestinal worms. Even caveman Patrick knew to cook his meat. All you have to do is look at modern hunter-gatherer tribes and you can see that none of them look like this. Most of them sit around doing nothing because they want to conserve their energy, as obtaining food isn't as easy as ordering from Uber Eats. You also have to ask how deadlifting 300 kg plus is going to help them with their daily lives. Sure, it helps to be strong, but at some point there are diminishing returns and it's not really worth them expending that much energy. The Liver King did come out with a confession, and much like every YouTuber apology video, it was complete trash. He first admitted that he lied to everyone about his steroid use.
Yes, I've done steroids. And yes, I am on steroids, monitored and managed by a trained hormone clinician.
And then went off on a complete tangent about how he took steroids for you.
Liver King, the public figure, was an experiment to spread the message, to bring awareness to the 4,000 people a day who kill themselves, the 80,000 people a day that try to kill themselves. Our people are hurting at record rates with depression, autoimmune, anxiety, infertility, low ambition in life.
He convinced you to eat testicles for you. Anyone with a brain should have known that putting testicles in your mouth isn't going to get you jacked. Otherwise, your mum would be huge. If you really wanted to help people, you would be open and honest about everything like Noel Diesel, another fitness YouTuber. But instead, he decided to take the gaslighting route, and just like a cheating spouse, he's only sorry that he was caught. If he was never exposed, then he would have been peddling this natty lie all the way to the bank in his little Flintstones car. He also mentions that he's never had any genetic editing done.
Nope, I've never had ab implants, ab etching, or any other plastic surgery, and I sure as fuck never actually had gene editing done in Singapore.
I don't believe that. I don't need an ancestry.co.uk DNA analysis kit to know he has at least some turtle in him. Like if you were to take a look at his family tree, somewhere up there would be a turtle munching on some leaves. Anyways, that's all I have left to say on this subject. Let me know what you think in the comments. Peace.
Oompa, loompa, doopa-dee-dee. If you are wise, you'll listen to me.